Guys, what's going on? Roger and Chris here.
What up, guys?
We are here to bring you the nerd news
of the week.
Maybe
a little past the week, because first and foremost, we gotta do our moment of silence. Mr. Ron Glass, you will be forever known to us nerds as Shepherd Book, and the universe got a lot less shiny this weekend. So, in honor of you, here's our Entertain the Geeky moment of silence. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the other big news of the week. Why don't you take this one away,
Which
Chris?
one? So, Fantasy Shop Florence.
Last day was today. They're moving. Does the new store open tomorrow? No, the new store will open on New Comic Book Day on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
So they're going to take Monday and Tuesday
just to get everything set up.
Finish getting
everything out of the store today. Because I went and helped them move a little bit. And they've got a lot of stuff out of there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot to go.
Well, yeah, and you've got displays still. You've got a bunch of other stuff to do. You still have back issues to re-put out. I know a certain ex-employee, a co-worker of ours, would be freaking out
with these back issues.
The back issues.
I saw him there tonight.
Yeah? How do you look?
He looks good. He's teaching.
Yeah.
He's teaching.
So, yeah, it's kind of a bitter...
It's bittersweet. The new store is gorgeous.
The new store is gorgeous, and I'm always excited to check out new stores. But at the same token, that was... After my game store closed, Florence Hazelwood at the time, and then Florence Fantasy Shop Hazelwood, and then Fantasy Shop Florence was my go-to store. Mm-hmm. So it seems very sad.
It definitely is. I didn't plan on going there today, but I'm glad I got to.
Like, it touched your heartstrings in ways you didn't expect.
No, it absolutely did. So, like, I've been going to the Fantasy Shop here right next to home, basically, for my entire life.
Right.
So it moving was... It's bittersweet. Like, it's not gone. It's just in a different spot.
Jeez, my game store closed back in 2000, so for the past 17 years, I've been going to that store.
Yeah.
And, before then, I was off and on because my game store didn't sell comics, so that's where I went and bought my comics. So it's very different. It's a very weird feeling not to have a game store in North County.
I absolutely love the new store, though.
Yeah, no, it looks sweet.
Like, it's hands down the prettiest storefront that they have.
We'll see. I still think St. Charles has a really gorgeous layout.
They have a cool layout. I like the... Now, this could change between now and when they actually get it set up.
Right.
But, God, I love the new storefront.
St. Charles, when I first walked into the new St. Charles location, my thought was there was this game store I went to in Austin, Texas, that had the very same layout. All the shelves were the same height, and you could see all the way across this store that was 100 yards long if it was a foot. And I just thought that store was gorgeous, and when I saw St. Charles, I felt the same way.
It's a cool-looking store.
So the Fantasy Shop in Olive.
Fantasy Shop Creve Coeur.
Fantasy Shop Creve Coeur. They're going to have privatized gaming rooms for $5 an hour.
And that's kind of sweet.
That is sweet. I can say the F word at the Fantasy Shop and not get in trouble.
What I want to know is how they're going to do Friday Night Magic.
From what that goes into some things that, can't really talk about right now. I think it's all still in the works on how they're going to do that. Because I know with Wizards, with the WPN agreement, the Friday Night Magic and big events need to be played out in the open to where people can see them, and you can't separate them between two different rooms.
I can see them bringing in just card tables like they have in the past.
And that's a possibility. I really don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see after they open.
Only time will tell.
So, yeah. So Wednesday, check out the new Fantasy Shop. You and I are going to be there demoing the one-page role-playing game, I believe.
One-page RPG.
I don't think that's going to be Wednesday.
No, it's not going to be Wednesday. It's probably going to be next Sunday.
Next Sunday, which would be December
5th.
December 5th.
I think.
Yeah.
It's the 4th or 5th, right?
The 4th is Saturday.
Okay, so it's the 5th.
December 5th, we'll be demoing the one-page role-playing game out of the Fantasy Shop Creve Coeur. God, sounds weird to say, doesn't it?
Out of the CC Fantasy Shop.
So, on other news, I just found out today we're getting a Star Wars clue.
A clue?
A Star Wars clue. I'm pulling up my phone right now. The idea of this clue is a little bit different. Instead of trying to figure out who killed the Wookiee...
Oh, board game clue.
Board game clue. Yeah, I showed you the picture.
You did. I thought you were talking about the Rogue One trailer with that strange crystal.
No, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, we'll have a whole Star Wars segment here. But the idea of this clue, guys and gals...
Folks.
People, geeks, is to find... I just lost it. Be the first player to find out which planet Darth Vader plans to destroy next, which room the Death Star plans are hidden in, and which vehicle is the correct escape vehicle. It just sounds awesome.
No, that's... I think it's completely brilliant.
Like, bringing clue in, like... And the board looks so... It's a three-dimensional half-cut-out Death Star.
No, it looks sick.
I don't really know what to think about this. It looks really good. But what you were saying was... I saw a trailer of Rogue One.
Yep.
And in the beginning of the trailer, the main character, whose name I don't know because whatever, it's just...
It doesn't matter,
yeah. The mother... We've seen the father in the trailers. But now the mother or aunt, some lady, hands her a crystal on a necklace and says, like, believe in the Force. And my first thought was lightsaber crystal.
What if that is what Luke ends up building his lightsaber with?
In Return of the Jedi?
Yes.
That would be interesting.
That would be sweet.
Because, well, I mean...
The timeline, they could make all that work.
Well, yeah, because Luke building his lightsaber was a deleted scene in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So they can make it canon however they want.
It's not canon if it's not
exactly
in the film, is what they said.
We don't know how Luke got his lightsaber, but we don't know where that crystal came from. I mean, originally in Shadows of the Empire, I believe it was a fabricated crystal. Mm-hmm. So that's not canon anymore. They can do whatever they want now.
They really can. Well, and how cool would that be? Like, if somehow that crystal found its way to Luke.
And he turned... But it's clear. It's a clear crystal, so how does it turn green? I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know. It's so confusing.
Maybe it's the super weapon.
So what's interesting was my complaint about stormtroopers killing people in this movie.
Yeah.
I've been watching all the trailers, and they still can't hit nothing. They can't.
They still can't shoot.
They still can't shoot. In fact, I saw Forrest Whitaker shot like 16 of them in the course of 3 seconds before they could fire the trigger. So this is accurate to A New Hope. The stormtroopers still can't hit nothing. I'm excited.
But when they were clones, they could.
Yeah, when they were clones, they could kill a Jedi.
With ease.
Yeah.
He's looking the other way. Shoot him.
Shoot him. His back is turned to us. The only one they couldn't kill? Yoda.
A couple of them put up a brief fight.
Yeah.
The one that I was most upset about is Plo Koon. So you have him just kind of flying his Jedi fighter, and then they're just like, Order 66. Pew, pew, pew. Plo Koon's dead. There was like nothing. I wanted him because he's like a sentinel. He should have been in this crazy lightsaber battle.
Yeah, but, they didn't have the money for that. They spent it all on that 20-minute lightsaber duel at the end of the movie. Which you don't like.
I mean, no, it's got its cool points. They could have cut out 10 minutes of it.
So, in other news, though, quickly, like, just jumping straight to different universes, Justice League Dark trailer came out. Did you see this?
I did not.
It's rated R, and I don't know why. I watched the trailer. It looks good. It looks dark. It looks gritty. But then I see, this is kind of a complaint I have across all film, but I see R for mature themes and offensive language.
I mean, somebody could drop the F-bomb in it.
That does not make it an R movie. I'm sorry. First off, they're not going to do that. You know this. DC is not going to do the F-bomb just to do the F-bomb. Like, do they try to push the envelope? Probably. Is this going to be a dark movie? Probably. And my thing is this.
If they show a character being beat in blood, though, like once there's so much blood,
that's not R-rated to me. I'm sorry, I've had this complaint
before.
It's
the Motion Picture Association.
Indiana Jones and the second Indiana Jones movie had a guy's heart ripped out, and it was rated PG-13.
That was also
the first
PG-13 long time ago,
right? Which leads to a whole complaint I have about this. Tara's trying to come in with something.
Worms.
Ew, worms.
I got worms.
A whole complaint about how they rate movies now. Yes, a character getting beaten bloodied is fine, but we already had that when the Joker beat the Robin to death with a crowbar. That movie was PG-13.
That's fair.
I think the only reason this movie got rated R
because they wanted to call it rated R.
Well, looking at the other rated R animated movie that they had,
Killing Joke,
The Killing Joke, which was
didn't necessarily need to be.
It didn't need to be, but it wasn't for kids.
Yeah.
So I think they're making their animated movies rated R that aren't for kids.
Just to kind of keep it...
out of
the kids' hands.
Because if you see PG-13, you're going to watch it and you go, oh, you know, you're younger, but you can handle this.
Yeah, and then there's sex and extreme violence and...
Okay. I still have an issue with it being rated R just for that case.
So maybe NC-17? No.
Yeah, screw it. Don't care. I have an issue with the rating system just in general because it seems to me that it is there's no real lines drawn. It's not...
No, it's whoever's reviewing your movie basically stamps something on it.
Yeah, and there used to be, like, PG-13 used to be what rated R movies are today.
Well, and you know what's funny is Kevin Smith with Yoga Hosers, they made him make that R-rated initially. And he had to appeal the Motion Picture Society or whoever gives out the ratings to get them to make it PG-13 because he's like, this movie is for teenagers. He's like, my teenage daughter's in it. I made this for teenagers. It's not rated R.
No, and I think that's like when you look at a Kevin Smith movie, like, oh, it's Kevin Smith. They just instantly splash an R on it. Like Clerks, Clerks had some pretty graphic language in it. The first Clerks. Yeah. Clerks 2 definitely needed to be a hard R. There was interspecies erotica, and even then, I didn't see penetration, so I don't know if it needs to be an R. When you look at movies in the past, like, yeah, you're saying it's a long time ago. When you look at movies in the past that were rated the way they were rated, you had stuff like Indiana Jones. You had graphic movies that were meant for teenagers, that were PG-13s, and took risk, and PG-13 had an edge to it. Mm-hmm. You had a whole new thing. And now it seems to be you're either G or PG-13 or R.
I was going to say, most everything is PG-13.
Yeah, like somehow that newly formed rating system... The newly formed rating that was meant for movies like Indiana Jones, where you want to show something graphic, but it's not meant for kids, but it's not necessarily an R-rated thing.
Are all of the Avengers movies PG-13?
Yes.
Are they?
Yes. And here's an interesting side note. The original Avengers cut was rated R. Did you?
Really?
Yeah, the scene where Coulson dies?
Yeah.
They showed the blade coming out of the back. No blood, just the blade out of the back. And that was enough to give it an R rating.
That's obscene.
Exactly. So this has been a thing on my chest for a very long time. The fact that I always felt that movies needed to be, there needs to be R-rated movies. Deadpool definitely deserved to be R.
Hard R.
Hard R.
Yeah.
But I feel that a lot of R-rated movies now are what PG-13 was in the 90s and in the 80s. And it's very annoying to me.
I mean, think about movies like Airplane.
That's
a PG.
That's a PG.
That would be a hard R now.
That would be a hard R now. And partially because PG-13 didn't exist when Airplane came out.
Yeah.
But that's what PG-13 was meant for. Steven Spielberg realized there was a gap. And they needed to make something new. And now it seems that...
Everything is just kind of... Everything's PG-13.
Everything's PG-13 now. Yeah, and
we'll slap an R on it if you see...
If there's more than 6 gunshots, it's going to be an R. They drop more than one F-bomb, it's going to be an R, but that's not the way it was supposed to be. There are movies out there that have an R rating, like Justice League, like The Killing Joke, that truly didn't need to be R.
No, Killing Joke didn't need to. And I think they almost do it to drum up excitement.
Maybe.
Because, well, think about it. Like, Killing Joke, when they finally announced that was going to be R, fans lost their minds.
Because they thought it was going to be a faithful adaptation of a comic that truly, if you're going to bring it to life, needs to be R.
Yeah.
And it was, except for that 15 minutes...
Of stuff.
I don't want to call it what it was.
Garbage.
Yeah. Mine begins with a bull and ends with an ish.
Yeah.
Shh. Little shh. I just feel that we look at ratings now as babysitters, and instead of actually, I don't know, being informed consumers and realizing, because I couldn't tell you what deserves an R rating anymore. When I see R rating because of mischievous violence and hurtful dialogue, I don't get it. When I look at PG-13 movies of the past, like Airplane, like Jaws. Jaws was originally PG. And that showed way more guts and way more blood than...
Well, I was going to say, didn't Airplane have nudity in it even?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at PG-13 movies. Brooke Shields rode around completely naked in the PG-13 movie. Blue Lagoon or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah, man, the world has changed a lot.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks because I can't give you a clear definition on why we rate movies the way we rate.
Yeah, you know, that should be something that they do. Like have this movie has naked people in it.
Yeah, well, it shows it. It says why it got that rating, but...
Some of that's BS, though.
A lot of it's BS. Titanic showed full frontal nudity, and it was a PG-13.
No, that was an R.
No?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Looking it up right now. You keep
Original
talking.
cut of Titanic was an R.
No, the original cut of Titanic in the movie theaters?
Yeah, it was an R.
Titanic's rating. Looking it up right now.
Google it. And just remember that Titanic was a precursor for the movie Avatar. For those who have been listening for a while, Blake Brewer did break that down for us.
PG-13 for disaster-related peril, violence, nudity, sensuality, and brief language.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so like that I kind of disagree with.
But to me, that's what PG-13 was meant to be. If that's truly why they rated the PG-13, that makes sense.
You don't necessarily want your 13-year-old looking at naked people.
Yeah, but you as an audience member, as a consumer, can go see that movie, and you can determine what your 13-year-old should see or not.
Agreed.
It's parents' guidance suggested under the age of 13 or over the age of 13. It's still parents' guidance suggested. So watch the movie yourself before you send your kid to see it.
That's a fair point.
And furthermore, movie theaters aren't really checking IDs to make sure you're 17 before you go in and see Deadpool.
Some do.
Some do, not most.
Because I remember going to see The Omen in 2006.
Which shouldn't have been rated R.
2006. It was June 6th. It was 666. I was 16. I wasn't old enough to get in, and I borrowed a friend's ID to go see it. And they actually checked IDs. I looked nothing like this guy. I still can't grow a beard that well. I grow like the Joe Dirt facial hair. This guy had a full beard. And his ID picture. They're like, go on.
ID picture.
Go on.
So, what do we discuss today?
Basically, some places moved, some things near and dear to our heart moved. Somebody passed. A couple of people passed.
There's a really cool board game, Star Wars Clue, coming out.
New Rogue One trailer's cool.
We don't know what that crystal is.
We have no clue what this crystal is, and it's eating us alive.
We'll find out in a couple of days.
We will.
We'll have a full review of Rogue One.
Will we?
Oh, we will.
Okay, because you better.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, Rogue One, after all the scrutiny that we've put episode 7 under.
You better be good.
We're going to review that.
I think that's all I got on this news episode.
That's all we got, guys. As always, go ahead and click that like button on Facebook so you can keep up to date with what we're doing here. Go to Twitter and follow us. We are Entertaining Geeky. On YouTube, we're there as Entertain the Geeky. And on Instagram, we are Entertain the Geeky. If you have not already, go ahead and go over to beastescaperoom.com. Enter in the promo code
Geeky.
For how much off, Roger?
I believe it's 20%.
It is 20% off with promo code Geeky. Guys, stay geeky.